Noah Church here. This is my video coaching series, and today's topic is whether or not to be honest and open with your partner, even when it might mean hurting your partner or ending the relationship. I got an email here today that's a very interesting and a very difficult one. It's from a husband. He says, "Dear Noah, am I completely delusional in thinking that I can recover without telling my wife? Of course I know that the standard advice involves telling your spouse so that you base your recovery on honesty and accountability. And that's the advice that I give too. I believe that the strongest relationships are built on trust and openness and honesty. And this is not only for your spouse's benefit, but also for yours. And how can your partner truly be a supportive partner for you if they don't know what's going on in your life, they don't know what you're struggling with, and they don't know how to help you? The only way they can help you is if you're open with them and if you invite them in. You break down your wall and you show them who you are, the bad and the good together, and work together to create a better future for yourselves." You say, "That sounds great, but I suspect our relationship may not handle my admission. My wife has always had low self-esteem and suffered a few depressive episodes before my addiction. It's been hard work keeping the marriage together, but we have a son, and we've tried really hard to make things work for him and for us. Despite all the difficulties, I want us to be together. If I'm completely honest with her, I'm not sure how she could stay with me. I watched all sorts of disgusting porn, visited massage parlors, circulated pictures of her and family members for tributing." I had to look up this word tributing in urbandictionary.com. I didn't know what it was, and when I read it, I realized how fucked up it was. So I can understand where you're coming from not wanting to tell your wife. Now, for those of you who are watching this and don't know what tributing is, you can educate yourself on Urban Dictionary. I hope most of you don't know what it is. I even tried sex with a guy because I started thinking I was bisexual. I'm pretty sure that I'm not, but I think porn skewed my view that much. What I mean is, given the already delicate nature of our marriage, complete disclosure of my behavior would likely lead to a breakdown of the marriage. The support sites all say that our marriage is no good anyway if I'm lying about my behavior, but I just don't see it in such black and white terms. Right now I'm 7 days in and feeling okay. I'm active on support sites, meditating daily, exercising more, trying to eat better, reading your brain on porn, etc. Could it be possible that I can beat it and keep my marriage? Have you ever heard of anyone recovering without telling their spouse? Well, I can answer that part of your question first because it's the easiest part. Yes, absolutely. I know several guys who have recovered, gotten rid of porn out of their lives, and recovered from sexual dysfunction without telling their partners about that process or about their history with porn. Can I recommend it? No. I think it's much harder to do it without the support of your partner, without them knowing what's going on in your life. But it's definitely possible. You can absolutely do it. Should you recover without telling your wife is a whole different story because, of course, this is not just about you. The marriage is about what's best for both people, what's best for the whole family. And whether or not you should tell her is not just will it help your recovery, but will it be fair to her? Now, I'm the type of guy who, in a relationship, I have to be open and honest completely. I have to be open about how I'm feeling, what I want from the relationship, about my past, and it just doesn't work for me if I'm not. That's the only way that I can feel safe and loving and comfortable. It's the only way that I can truly express myself. And if I'm keeping secrets that I'm torn up inside, I'm not really able to be in that relationship and be a good partner. I know not everyone is like me, though. There are certainly couples out there that keep secrets from each other and yet are able to continue a reasonably healthy relationship. Now, I asked a female friend to look at your email, and give me some of her thoughts because I wanted another opinion on this. And she said that if a partner of hers cheated on her, and it was, a one-time thing or happened a couple times in a week, and afterwards her partner was really remorseful and was determined not to do it again and realized it was a mistake and recommitted to loving their actual partner and being in that relationship, then my friend wouldn't actually want to know about it. Now, this surprised me because I would definitely want to know about it if it was my partner who had cheated on me. But I'm not everybody. There are women out there, there are men out there who just wouldn't want to know in a situation like that. My friend did say, however, that in your case, if she was your partner, she would want to know, because if it was a long affair over time, or several affairs with several different people, or a personal violation of her, like distributing photos of her and family members to other men for attributing for them to masturbate over, then she would want to know about it, because that is too gross a violation of her trust, and she wouldn't want to be in that relationship anymore. And whether you should tell your wife, well, you have to examine the kind of relationship you have. Do you have the kind of relationship where you keep secrets from each other and you're both okay with that? I mean, would you be okay with it? Would you not want to know if she was sleeping with several other guys on the side, or violating you personally in some way? We can't really use the attributing example because with the gender differences, it's not really the same thing. But if she was doing something like that behind your back, would you want to know? I think you would. And I think your wife would probably want to know what you've done. And I believe that that's the only way to really have a healthy relationship. You can coast along as you are, keeping secrets, but is that really the best for yourself, your wife, even your son? Probably not. I mean, you open up to her, you tell her your past, one of two things is probably going to happen. Number one, she feels betrayed and disgusted, and she can't trust you ever again. She leaves you. Family breaks apart, you get a divorce. Number two, she feels betrayed and disgusted, but she recognizes that you're truly committed to changing, you're truly repentant, and you really love her, and you want to work together to build a better future. And she decides to rebuild the trust with you and stay in the relationship. Now, whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know. There's no guarantees. You'll have to roll the dice. I do think there are ways to increase the odds of that happening. If I were in your situation, and I sure as hell hope I'm never in your situation, but if I was, I would probably wait a few weeks to tell her. And in the meantime, truly commit to becoming the best man, the best husband, and the best father that I could be. Truly the man that I wanted to be. Leave behind the porn, leave behind all the sexual escapades behind my wife's back, leave behind that dark past, and find more positive, fulfilling ways to live and contribute to the family, and show my wife and my son how good life can be when I'm committed to being the best version of myself. That's what I would do. And then a few weeks in, or a month or two in, I would open up to her and tell her, I haven't always been a good man or a good husband to you. I have secrets, I have things that I've done that I'm really ashamed of that I need to tell you about if you want to hear about them. Now, before I say what they are, I have to say that I feel so remorseful about it, and for the past several months I've been trying my best to be the man that I really want to be and the man that you deserve in this marriage, and I'm never going to do anything like what I've done in the past again. But I feel like I need to be fair to you and be honest with you and tell you about all these things if you want to hear about them. And tell her everything you've done and let her decide, because she deserves the chance, I believe, to decide whether or not to stay with you given the truth. And if she does stay with you and you are able to work past this, then I think you'll build a better, stronger, more intimate relationship than you've ever had before. And that will really provide a good example for your son. I don't believe that it's always best for the child, for the parents to stay together, regardless of the circumstances. You could keep the secrets and just coast along in the marriage and do that for your kid, but honestly, I think that that's an excuse you're holding up not to tell your wife. Because what are you really showing your son there? That the way to have a marriage, the way to have an intimate relationship is by keeping secrets, lying to each other, being deceitful? I don't think that's a good model to show to your son. And I don't think you do either. And will he know this explicitly, that his parents keep secrets from each other? Probably not. But children and people are very perceptive, and he will model his parents' behavior in future relationships. Whereas if you're honest with your wife, even if it leads to the marriage breaking apart, then at least your son will see that his parents were honest with each other and tried to make it work, but just couldn't do it. And that's okay. It doesn't have to mean the end of the family just because the marriage breaks apart. You can both still love your son, you can both still provide him with a good life without being married to one another if it comes to that. And that's not the end of the world. I know it might feel like it, but it doesn't have to be. So, you really need to do some soul searching, man, and you need to improve your life and your actions in such a way that shows your wife you're a changed man and you're going to be better in the future. And that's the only way you have a chance of making this work, when you're honest with her. And I truly hope that you do tell her what you've done in your past. So, anyone else out there has a story or a question or experience that they think I might have some insight on, you can email me. My contact information is in the description below. If you appreciate these videos, you feel that they've added value to your life, then you can show your appreciation by donating to me at my website, addictedtointernetporn.com. I'll see you next time. Coach Church out.